Hello students, welcome to civics class. I hope you have gone through the first video of the first chapter in civics, the Union Legislature. Let's continue our lesson. In today's session, we'll be discussing regarding the composition of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. You all know that the three constituents of the parliament are Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and the President, right? Okay, so first we'll take the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is also called as the lower house or the house of the people. Okay, so why do we call Lok Sabha as the house of the people? Because they are elected by the people and the MPs represent the people in the parliament. So we call them as house of people. And what is the maximum strength of the Lok Sabha as per the constitution? It is 552 members. Out of this 552 members, 530 members are elected from the states and 20 members are elected from the union territories. And 2 members are from the Anglo-Indian community and they are nominated, not elected. They are nominated by the president. However, the effective strength of Lok Sabha at present is 545 members, out of which 530 members are directly elected by states and 13 members from the union territories and 2 members are nominated by the president from Anglo-Indian community. Okay, so don't confuse when you get a question like what is the maximum strength of the Lok Sabha or what is the effective strength of the Lok Sabha. Okay, you should keep in mind the maximum strength is 552 and the effective strength is 545 members. Seats are allotted to the different states and union territories in the Lok Sabha on the basis of their respective populations. Okay, so for example, if you take Uttar Pradesh has 80 seats in the Lok Sabha. Meanwhile, the states like Mizoram, Nagaland and Sikkim, they have only 1 seat in the Lok Sabha. So, the seats are allotted based on the population of the respective states. Okay. So, how many states do we have at present? We have 28 states and the union territories are 9 union territories. So, you might have been wondering now Jammu and Kashmir has made as a union territories. Okay. So, we have 28 states and 9 union territories. Now let's see the composition of the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is also called as the upper house or council of states since they represents the states. It is also called as a permanent house because they cannot be dissolved even during the emergency. Okay. What is the composition of the Rajya Sabha? In Rajya Sabha, the maximum strength is 250 seats, okay, out of which 238 seats are selected by the states and union territories. 12 members are nominated by the president. Okay, so this is the maximum strength of the Rajya Sabha. What is the actual or the effective strength of the Rajya Sabha? Okay. The effective strength of the Rajya Sabha at present is 245, out of which 233 members are elected and 12 members are nominated by the president. Okay. Here, the Rajya Sabha will be presided by the chairman and the chairman is the vice president. Okay. In the same way, Lok Sabha also is presided by the speaker. Here the speaker will be elected among the members of the Lok Sabha soon after the fresh election. Okay, so that we'll see it in detail in the next topic. Okay, so what is the term of the Lok Sabha? The members of the Lok Sabha are elected for a term of 5 years. Okay, and what about the Rajya Sabha? The Rajya Sabha members are elected for a term of 6 years. So Now let's see the qualifications of the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. First let's take Lok Sabha. The first qualification should be he should be the citizen of India. Okay. The second one, he should not be less than 25 years of age. And the third one is he should not hold any salaried government job. That means he should not be a government employee. The fourth one is he should not acquired the citizenship of another country. Okay, he should not hold any other country citizenship. Okay, for example, if a citizen of India goes to America and he stays there for nearly 6 to 7 years or 10 years, he holds the citizenship of America too. Okay, so he cannot come back and contest the election. And the next point is he should be mentally sound. Okay, that he should not have any mental disturbance. And the next point, he should not be bankrupt. He should not be bankrupt. What it means, he should not be declared as a person who has been taken lots of debt in the banks and couldn't able to repay it. Okay, so for those people we say it as a bankrupt. And the next, he should not have any criminal procedures against him when he contests for the election. So these are all the qualifications required for the Lok Sabha members. Next we'll see the qualifications for the Rajya Sabha. Even for the Rajya Sabha also, the first qualification is he should be the citizen of India and he should not be less than 30 years of age. Okay, and he should not be a government servant. And the next point is he should not acquire the citizenship of another country and he should be mentally fit. Okay, he should not be a bankrupt and no criminal procedures against him. Okay. Hello students, welcome to civics class. I hope you have gone through the first video of the first chapter in civics, the Union Legislature. Let's continue our lesson. In today's session, we'll be discussing regarding the composition of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. You all know that